some very, very cool and very special pens that I want to talk to you about today. And there are 3 pens, but I'm going to unbox and show you one before inking. And the pens I'm talking about come from a brand located in Taiwan called Mr. Cypress. According to their website, and I don't know if it's true or not because obviously I don't live in Taiwan, but they are one of the top manufacturers of pens in Taiwan. And after looking at the pens that they have, I believe it. They make a lot of pens. You just go check out their website and you'll see what I mean. All kinds of any pen you can think of, they make it. The pen I have in this box, this beautiful bamboo box, by the way, go ahead and slide this off. It is an Eggshell Urushi pen. And this is a pen that I've been wanting for a while. Kind of on a Urushi kick right now, so, you know, please excuse me. So let me go ahead and open this box. And it's really, the box, it's got a magnetic lid. I mean, it's got a box you could store pens in when you're not using, or use it as a pen box. Really cool. So there's a piece of information here. And it has Mr. Cypress email on here and stuff like that. And the pen also came with a warranty card. From the date of purchase, you've got a 1-year warranty against any manufacturing defects, which I think is cool. And it also has that written here on the other side of the card, just in case you forget, because to be honest, I can't remember the date of all the pens that I've purchased. I mean, it's not like I keep a diary or something, although that's not a bad idea. Let's look at that pen. You ready? Because it's a stunner. Right? I mean, that's cool. I saw this online and I was just like, wow. That's all duck eggshells in tiny, tiny little pieces, broken down and applied to an ebonite body. And then, this is where all the work comes in. I imagine that applying these shells like this in this particular pattern, even the finial has it, takes a lot of time and patience. I mean, if it were me making this pen, I'd be just slapping it on here and, you know, whatever. After the eggshells are applied, then the Urushi lacquer is applied, several layers of it, and then polished and repainted, and then polished and repainted, and then polished and repainted, and so on, and so on, and so on. So there is a tactile quality to this pen. It's smooth, yes, but I can feel the eggshells. Like if I really concentrate and just, I can feel them. But it's sanded down or polished down so fine that it's still very, very smooth. And I'm very impressed with that. It's just really cool. And just the way it looks alone with, you know, the eggshell concentrated completely on the cap, and then the pattern breaks down and falls into little pieces here towards the bottom of the barrel. I just really appreciate that. I love this design. It's just so cool, and I love that contrast of black and white. I think it looks really good. When you take the cap off, then you have a Raden section with Urushi on it. Yeah. So there's like another surprise. Once you take that cap off, you've got this beautiful iridescent patterning on the section. I'm just so like in love with that. The pen doesn't post, and I don't really want to post it either, simply because I wouldn't want to scratch up this beautiful lacquer, especially knowing how much time it takes to achieve this look. The pen does come with a stock JoWo nib. You could also choose a stock Bach nib. I chose JoWo simply because I wanted the JoWo housing, because what I'm going to do with this pen is I'm not going to stick with this stock nib. In fact, I have a gold. It's a 14 karat gold Franklin-Christoph pen that I'm going to put in here. So that's what I've done with my pens, actually. All the pens that I've received. This is my third pen from Mr. Cypress, and I pretty much have replaced the other two with new nibs, 14 karat gold nibs, and ebonite feeds and housing. So I upgraded them. Also, it is a cartridge converter system, and it comes with a converter. So that way you can put any ink you want into this pen. Let me show you the other two pens. Now, I have another pen that is similar in shape to this Eggshell pen, and this is the Raden pen. This is known as the Milky Way design. Isn't that something? And you could basically use any ink you want, blues, greens, purples, pinks with this pen. So again, there is this, I believe they also apply a Urushi lacquer to this as well. After they inlay that Raden into an ebonite body, and then it is nice and smooth and shiny and just gorgeous. Love that. So the section also has this broken down Raden material applied to it with Urushi. And as you can see here, I have replaced the nib, the stock nib that came with the pen, with a 14 karat gold Franklin-Christoph medium nib. And then from Flexible, what is it? Flex Fountain Pen Factory. Look that up online. Don't take my word for it. But I bought an ebonite housing, so that there's ebonite housing in there, and an ebonite feed. I upgraded these pens. But yeah, so here is the Raden and the Eggshell next to each other. So as you can see, it's basically the Eggshell is a little bit shorter than the Raden. They really look great together. They're very similar in the way they look, but they are different. Now, the third pen I'm going to show you from Mr. Cypress is a, bear with me, Kawari Nuri Urushi fountain pen, and here it is. This is the Kawari Nuri pink pen, and when I saw this online, I was like, yes, please take my money. Please take my money. This Urushi patterning known as graining all around the pen is cigar shaped. So this is much different from the other two pens. And you look closely and there are pieces of Raden inlaid into that Urushi. Yeah, in like this swirly pattern. I was like, wow, what a piece of art this pen is. It is just magnificent. And of course, you know, it's pink. I like pinks and reds, and you know, I'm just really into that. But yeah, it has Raden shells in the patterning, and it's just beautiful, just gorgeous. And so I also, the section is pink. So the only concern I had about this pen was, you know, they've got the paint, or the Urushi is also on the threading, and I think over time that might wear down, but that doesn't bother me. It's fine. So I also replaced this nib with a Franklin-Christoph 14 karat gold nib, also with an ebonite feed and housing. So I upgraded this pen as well. It is also a cartridge converter pen. And you know what? I made a mistake. This one has the medium nib, and this one has a Franklin-Christoph stub nib in it. So, but yeah, there wasn't really a whole lot of places that I could find a stock 14 karat gold JoWo nib. And so somebody who, I don't remember who you are, but thank you so much. You left in the comments when I did the Esterbrook candy review, you left in the comments of Franklin-Christoph was a place that I could go get these nibs. And I ran over there and I bought different nibs, 3 different ones, knowing that I was going to get these pens. So thank you very much. You were very helpful. I wish I could remember who you are, but thank you. I appreciate it. But I don't want the fingerprints to be all over it, so I just got to keep it polished, pretty. Yeah, so all 3 of these pens, here they are. All come with stock nibs. They're all are cartridge converters, and all just really beautiful. Just the artistry behind making these pens. I'm really impressed with Mr. Cypress pens. This won't be my last one. I assure you, this will not be my last one from Mr. Cypress. Well, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change out the nibs on this pen with the new nib, and I'm going to ink this pen up, and let's see how she writes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, I hope you liked seeing the changing of the nib of this pen and the writing sample. If you want to get a Mr. Cypress pen, they do have a way for you to upgrade your nib to a 14 karat gold JoWo nib. And I could have done that, but here's the thing and why I didn't. The price difference between the gold nib over at Franklin-Christoph versus the price of the gold nib over at Mr. Cypress. Over at Mr. Cypress, they want an extra $180 for that gold nib. Franklin-Christoph only wants $115, and I only have to deal with the Franklin-Christoph logo on the top of that nib, and that doesn't really bother me, to be honest with you, because the pen came with a generic nib anyway. So to me, that was worth the saving the money on that. And I turned around and went to Flexible Nib Factory. I think I said it right that time. And got the ebonite feeds and housing. And I plan on getting an ebonite feed and housing for this one as well as soon as Flexible Nib Factory gets those back in stock, which I think I saw something that they wrote early May. So fingers crossed that happens. Now let's talk about the price. So you're looking at some really cool pens that required a lot of time, a lot of patience, and a lot of artistry to look like this. So the Eggshell Urushi pen cost $558 US. The Kawari Nuri, this one is $596 US. And finally, the Milky Way Raden is $528 US. Now, yes, those are expensive. They are expensive. I will not lie. These three pens, yes. Please don't judge me, but yes, I spent a lot of money on them. But listen up. I've been wanting a Tasha pen for a long time. And then I found Mr. Cypress. And basically for the price of a Tasha pen, I'm talking about the Tasha pens that are, $1,200 to $1,500. I got 3 pens and upgraded the nibs and the feeds and the housing for about the same price as one Tasha pen. But I got 3 really cool pens from Mr. Cypress. So that's how I justify it. I got 3 really cool pens: ebonite, Eggshell, Raden, Kawari, Nuri. I know I'm butchering that. These 3 very gorgeous pens from Mr. Cypress for the cost of one Tasha pen. So I honestly, I'm happy. I maybe someday I'll get a Tasha pen, but as of right now, I really don't feel like I need one. Well, I mean, do we truly need these pens, right? It's a crazy hobby, y'all. It is crazy, and I'm not gonna lie. I sit around all day and I think about pens. I run on the treadmill and I'm thinking about pens. When I'm sleeping at night, I dream about pens. Is it a mental illness? I don't know. I don't know. All I know is I love me some fountain pens, and I love these Mr. Cypress fountain pens. So if you were, I highly recommend Mr. Cypress. They ship fast too. It came to me FedEx Express. I got these within like a week. So fast. And they're just, the customer service is so nice to deal with. I'm really a fan. I really am. I'm gonna emphasize that one more time. I really am a Mr. Cypress fan. If you are interested in Mr. Cypress, I highly encourage you to go check them out online. And that's really all I have to say about it. Is I am so happy with these pens. I really am. And just so you know, I'm keeping them in a Tasha pen sleeve. Yeah, whatever. That's all I have to say about it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned some more information about Mr. Cypress pens, and that's how the ink flows.